Look around, seriously. Take a moment and just look. Your room is cluttered. Your inbox is overflowing. Your to-do list is a graveyard of intentions. And inside your head? Chaos disguised as, I'm fine. You're carrying too much. Not just physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's like walking through life with a backpack full of bricks, except you're the one who put them there. Old regrets, unfinished projects, people who drain you, promises you keep breaking to yourself. You carry it all, silently. And you wonder why you're exhausted before noon. But here's the kicker. Most of it doesn't even belong to your present self. You're living with the weight of an older version of you. Someone who made decisions out of fear, guilt, or pressure. Someone who didn't know what you know now. If you enjoy this type of content, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. So why are you still dragging their junk? There's a strange pride in endurance. We romanticize suffering. We say things like, I'm just busy, or it's been a rough season, but deep down, we know. This isn't a phase. This is a pattern. And that pattern is killing your clarity. Slowly, quietly. Because the more you carry, the less space you have to receive. Opportunities slip through because your hands are full of nonsense. Peace feels impossible because your mind is too damn loud. You keep praying for a breakthrough, but how can something new come in when you refuse to let go of the old? Here's your task. Identify one thing, just one, that you know is dead weight. A commitment, an object, a person, a thought, and drop it. Quietly. No drama, no farewell speech. Just let it go. The less you carry, the faster you move. The lighter you get, the clearer life becomes. You've been living inside a cage, but it's not made of bars or walls, it's made of opinions. Every time you hesitate before speaking your mind, every time you dress, act, or decide based on what they might think, another bar gets added to the prison. You've convinced yourself you're being polite, strategic, mature. But let's be honest, you're scared. Scared of being judged, scared of disappointing, scared of losing validation from people who probably don't even think about you that much. Here's the brutal truth. Most people are too wrapped up in their own insecurities to care about yours. While you rehearse how to say something the right way, they're doing the same. So, why are you living your life as a performance? This need for approval, it's not harmless. It's a slow leak in your soul. It drains your energy. It rewires your decisions. And worst of all, it buries your identity under layers of fake smiles and filtered choices. You become a mirror, reflecting what others want to see instead of a window into who you really are. And the worst part? You think you need their permission to be yourself. You don't. Every yes you say to please someone else is a no to your own path. Every time you bite your tongue just to avoid conflict, you're teaching yourself that your truth doesn't matter. How long can you keep betraying yourself like this? It's time to start saying no, even if it's just in your head at first. Start by canceling one commitment this week that you're only doing to please someone else. No explanation, no justification. Just no. You don't need to burn bridges, but you do need to stop building prisons with your people-pleasing bricks. Freedom doesn't come when others finally accept you. It comes the moment you stop needing them to. You wake up, and before your feet hit the ground, your thumb is already scrolling. Half conscious, half distracted, fully disconnected. You don't start your day, you escape it. Notifications, reels, endless noise. It's not just a routine, it's anesthesia. And it's working, because you don't feel inspired anymore. You feel numb, you don't feel focused, you feel foggy, like you're living underwater, reacting instead of choosing. Here's the ugly truth. Your habits aren't neutral. They're either building you or burying you. And most of what you call routine is just a loop of silent self-destruction disguised as normal. You scroll to avoid thinking. You eat to avoid feeling. You binge watch to avoid doing. And then you wonder why life feels flat. Because the spark is gone. Not because it vanished, but because you've been drowning it in comfort. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something uncomfortable on purpose? When was the last time you chose to be fully present? No screen, no numbing, just you and the moment. You don't need a full reset. You need one change, one habit to interrupt the loop. Maybe it's replacing the morning scroll with a 10-minute walk. Maybe it's turning your phone off after 8 p.m. Maybe it's sitting in silence for 5 minutes and asking yourself, what the hell am I doing with my time? The scariest part of the routine isn't what it includes, it's what it costs. Your edge, your presence, your fire. Start with one change, not loud, not perfect, just deliberate. Because if you don't break your routine, it will break you. Let's be honest, some people in your life have already expired. They just haven't been removed yet. You keep them around like old leftovers in the fridge, out of guilt, out of nostalgia, out of fear of seeming cold. But deep down, the connection's gone rotten, and still, you cling. You make excuses. You tell yourself it's not that bad, that every relationship has its ups and downs, but what you're really doing is tolerating toxicity in small doses, hoping it won't kill you. Spoiler, it is. Every forced conversation, every fake laugh, every text you send out of obligation instead of desire, it's draining you, not dramatically, not explosively, silently, like emotional carbon monoxide. It doesn't knock you out all at once. It just slowly suffocates your energy, your clarity, your self-respect. Here's the part no one tells you. You don't have to wait for a fight to walk away. You don't need closure to close a door. You don't owe anyone continued access to you, especially if being around them feels like emotional debt. Stop calling it loyalty when it's actually fear. Stop calling it love when it's really guilt. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do, for both of you, is leave quietly. Not with anger, not with blame, just distance, less interaction, fewer replies, a silent fade into peace. And no, you don't need to explain it. They'll either notice your absence and reflect, or they won't. But your job isn't to manage their response, it's to reclaim your life. So start with one person, the one who makes your stomach drop every time their name pops up. You don't need a script, you just need space. Because not every connection is meant to last, and not every goodbye needs an announcement. You don't need more motivation, you need less noise. Right now, your mind is not tired, it's overstimulated. You're drowning in tabs, pings, posts, alerts. Your brain is like a browser with 37 windows open, and you can't find the one playing the damn music. The truth? Your attention is being hijacked, not by accident, but by design. Every app is engineered to steal your focus. Every ping is a thief dressed like a friend. And you're letting it happen. You think you're in control because you can close the app, but that's like thinking you're free because the cage door is open, while you refuse to leave it. This isn't about hating technology. It's about noticing how often you avoid yourself through it. Every time you grab your phone out of boredom, you're missing a conversation with your own mind. Every scroll is a distraction from a decision you're too scared to make. Every notification is a whisper pulling you away from the present. And that's why you feel fried, fragmented, disconnected. Here's a radical idea. Turn it all off. Not forever. Just for 1 hour today. Silence every non-essential notification. Log out of the app that drains you the most. Put your phone in another room and sit with whatever comes up. The discomfort, the restlessness, the clarity. Because under all that noise, you'll find you again. Digital overload isn't just a tech problem, it's a spiritual one. You're trading your awareness, your peace, your presence. For entertainment, you won't remember tomorrow. Reclaim your mind. Protect your focus like it's sacred, because it is. And remember, you don't need to delete everything. You just need to decide what no longer deserves access to your attention. You were never meant to be perfect. But somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that if you weren't crushing every goal, being endlessly productive, staying positive, looking good, succeeding fast, then you were failing. And now you live under a constant storm of pressure, mostly self-imposed. You wake up already behind. You chase a version of success that's not even yours. You criticize yourself for not doing enough, while ignoring how much you've already survived. Let's get real. Most of your expectations didn't come from your soul. They came from the noise, from social media, from childhood, from a culture obsessed with more. And instead of questioning them, you swallowed them whole. So now, you measure your life against impossible standards and call it ambition. You punish yourself for resting and call it discipline. You compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20 and call it motivation. It's not. It's slow self-destruction. You are not a machine. You are not behind. You're just carrying weights that were never yours to begin with. You want peace? Start dropping those expectations one by one. The dream body you thought you needed to earn love. The six-figure career you thought would finally make you enough. The perfect routine, the flawless mindset, the constant hustle. Let it go. You don't have to lower your standards. Just stop worshiping ones that don't fit your life. Because the moment you stop living to impress, you start living to express. And that's where freedom begins. So here's your final challenge. Look at your life and ask, whose dream am I chasing? And if the answer isn't yours, rewrite it. Not with noise, not with declarations, just with quiet, consistent, unapologetic action. Because the most powerful shift in life often happens in silence. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.